But it's Shinobu Kuzumbo.
Shinobu?
Like
Just wanted to get that right. Shinobi.
Kuzubo.
Another Kuzumbo? Oh, this is like Ninja
I
Turtles.
like the idea behind it.
He's a Japanese turtle stealthy assassin.
Warrior.
Skilled with
A
ninjutsu.
Ninja Turtle.
I love the card art on that, by the way. I like the way the baby kappa in the background, the mini kappa, is like on his
Yeah,
shoulders.
this skin is fucking not good, bro.
He actually looks
What
really good.
about this skin is
Yeah, he's got a
good?
nice
Oh, yeah.
rubbery skin.
We
He's
have
got
the-
this sweet.
He doesn't look like a
box
sewer
turtle
friend
shell.
to me. That's
They-
for sure.
okay, they
Like,
put
he
the
doesn't look
weapons on the
friendly
back.
like the sewer guys did, but this guy completely
But-
different story.
I don't know. What
There's nothing special about this
You don't need
skin
to.
at all.
to.
I don't get it.
That's my
Nothing.
job, not yours. Don't
He's
worry.
got
It's fine.
he's got green glowing head water.
Oh,
Like it was
that's clever. Radioactive or
uh,
some kind of ooze, if you will.
Oh, yeah. I wonder where that's from. Into game we go, though. The basic attacks, obviously. And I need to see the kappa, man.
And he's got a very neat kind of comic book
Same autos.
style to his.
Yeah, the bass voice.
The little kappas are always.
Sounds
Wait,
like
the little
baseball.
kappas don't have fucking daggers, dude. Come on. Yo,
Oh, he's so cute.
how you gonna put daggers
his
on
little
this
bandana that's
motherfucker but him not use them? See, that would be like a skin that would be worth buying. Would be
I think
this
the reason I
skin,
enjoy playing
but they
Kuzumbo
make
is I
it so
want
the
the
weapons in the
just
back,
build
he
them
whips
up.
them out and starts
Yeah.
fucking attacking bitches with
Like
them. Like,
shell spikes
Play
looks
from your
really
couch.
cool too.
I don't
like
get
the
it.
big
667.
spikes. Yeah,
Number one.
that looks awesome.
We in here,
Yeah.
boy. Been
Those
quite
spatter
some
spines
time
are cool.
since subscribed.
the ultimate
Smiley
as well.
face.
what up, Don Pablo? Thank you for the
yeah.
oh, I guess a late
Really
resub,
cool.
right?
I
Thank you for the
like
sub. Thank you for coming back.
First time I've seen
Glad
that.
you're here.
Turned out really well.
I like the decision that you didn't speed it up too quickly, so you can actually just see it slowly rotate
Yeah.
around underneath the base. That's really
Appreciate
good.
it. Oh, that's a sweet
And he
jump.
just front flips too.
Is that a special jump unique to this skin?
I think so.
Yeah, he's not.
Because
he
Kuzumbo
doesn't have
definitely
that.
doesn't do that.
No, he doesn't.
What happened? Is his head water not filling up?
I do like the
Yeah.
jump.
What
Okay,
keeps
that's
His
falling out?
passive meter is empty.
He's not taking
so
damage.
Oh yeah.
Of course, yeah. The classic. I don't remember the passive. I always struggle with the passives more than anything else. He just come with a voice pack. We'll give it a very quick test, but he's probably not going to be there, guys. Round 3. Nope. No, sadly not.
No voice
Unfortunately, I
pack.
apologize once again, guys, for not having these voice packs, but
Oh,
they
that's
will
a
be
sweet
available
jump too.
in the patch notes for you guys. Obviously, afterwards, we're going to reveal, as per usual, we're going to see a little bit of a closer look. Moving straight along, though, we can go to the next skin. This one, luckily, doesn't
What did
come
he
with a
just
voice
say?
pack. It's the Storm Raven Jing Wei skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it?
Ooh, clean.
That's pretty good for it, tier 2.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah,
a clean
this
skin.
is, we've definitely been figuring out how to up the game on those items.
You can tell her live journal poetry is fierce.
Well, that's a little look at her in game. Obviously, the abilities don't change, but she's magnificent. She's like a
So
little pretty
stormy.
princess. But she's like, it's not exactly the same, and normally we don't reference it, but she reminds me of what the evil Frozen princess for some reason in that outfit. Even though she's nothing like it, it's just like, that's the sort of style I get from that, you know?
It's really a stretch, Hindu. Just let it go.
I just, oh, gosh. Fishman, you do
I like
me
the
in
colors. That's
combat.
that's pretty good. Really good job.
I have nothing else left to
This
say.
is a really
That
clean,
thing.
To be fair,
smooth
no one won in that
skin.
exchange.
I like it.
No. It was the viewers that
I
truly lost.
approve. Weak approval.
So we'll take it. Well, let's not look at her in game. Obviously, the abilities do stay the same with it, but it's a fantastic skin. With the amount of work that seems to have gone into it, is more than what I've seen from all of the tier 2s in the past. Was it harder to do that, Chuck?
We've been just really figuring out the envelope because we have a bunch of restrictions on the tier 2s in that they have to look good with the original effects. They can't have any animation work necessary, which is why they have the kind
Sure.
of cost profile that they have. So us just figuring out ways to make them as cool as possible while fitting inside that envelope. We're
Well,
just getting a little
Fuck
better
you,
at it
Jay
over time.
Teddy.
Let's move on. We've got one more skin still to show
Oh,
you
Shadowburn.
right now.
All right,
We'll
what's-
just get onto that one as well, which is
Was that
Ganesha
Tina in the back?
Mastery skins are available this time round. So obviously,
Was that
they're not
Tina or
the tier 2s
Taco?
or the tier 3s,
I
but
didn't
the
even see.
Mastery skins are always important too. He's so regal. He's so regal.
He's chilling.
Very relaxed.
He's so
right now.
unconcerned. He's like, guys, we got this. Just I placed some wards.
Cool.
Let's get the Gold Fury. Easy game, easy life.
What's the issue? I'm getting to kills anyway because my passive range is even bigger, you know? I'm just going to chill here on my couch and you're going to do all the work for me. That looks really good.
Oh yeah.
I love that.
That blue turned out really well too.
Yeah, it did.
It's the same blue.
To be fair, the blue and
Don't
gold,
act
the
like
one-
you're using
they
different
don't
shades
really
of
sell
blue
me
on all these
personally.
fucking
I'm
gold
not a big
skins,
fan
you
of the blue and
asshole.
gold, But that one,
I think
yeah,
it looks,
really
just,
fun.
it looks particularly good on.
You just master passed that too fast, Hindu. You're so
do.
OP. You're
Oh, wow.
rocking legendary or diamond within
Wow.
a couple
I
days.
come back, you fire shots at me, and then I come back and they're like,
Hey.
hey, you're a good guy too. I'm like, oh, this
Of
feels
course.
I
This
like
one
the
looks
black
sick
gold.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been trying to do a lot of kind of.
Yo, whoever that
tweaking
is
on
that
the skin for
fell
guys
in the
that are
background is still just
featured
laying
or
there. You
whatever,
can
where they
see
have
it right here.
lots of
Look.
exposed
You can see it down here.
since, you
You
know,
can see it right here.
diamond.
And the diamond as well.
Oh, I see what you mean. The skin is a
The
little
shade
bit
of blue is a
tinted.
nice
It's still
blue.
very clearly
Right, it's
different.
But let's not pretend it's not a different blue than the other
base, but
80
still kinda
fucking gold
match,
skins
but,
in the
You
game.
know, we wanted to get away from the thing where guys ended up feeling like weird mirrory statues.
Right, the
Sure.
old school, old
yeah.
ones. Yeah.
Like the turquoise skin, top to bottom, was definitely not the sweet spot. This is really cool.
Looks good.
Feels good.
Thank you so much, Pompon. One day you'll do your job properly, and I'll speak to you about that a little bit later on in a moment.
Why
But
do you gotta keep making Pon?
I'm sure Pon missed you most of all.
listen. Pompon's job is to make sure those are ready, and he says they are ready. Did he tell you they were
He
ready?
told me he knew that he had them all purchased.
So, which means he's not tested them.
That's
Which means he's not done his job, boys and
I'm
girls
sure
at home.
QA is
If you
running
don't do your
around
job, should
yelling
you
at
get
each other
fired?
right now?
Vote at home.
Oh,
Should Pompon be fired? Right now, I'm making the executive decision here on the patch notes.
Executive
show.
order,
Maybe
if
not
you
fired
will.
from the company, but maybe just fired
Hey,
from patch notes.
he's on my team now, design team. He's not getting fired.
Okay.
I don't know if we like that policy.
Executive decisions ahead of me. But it's time for these guys to disappear for a minute as I head over to our community ladies who are standing by to have a quick word with me as well. Harris, Savvy,
Let's
and
see
Harris
what they have to
Amanda.
tell us today.
667.
About
Hi,
Not
how are you?
bad. Not too bad. How are you
Is
girls?
she okay?
Good, good.
Jeez,
All right,
fine
I just
jobs.
wanna
Thank you for the
jump
3
right
months.
away and just say that a bunch of the skins this patch are going to be directly purchasable, which is really exciting.
All right, wait till I get there. Wait till I get there. You just rushed that
okay.
one straight
No, I'm
out.
so excited.
Directly
It's
purchasable,
like,
guys.
it's
Good
awesome.
news.
Yeah, so
No, it is good
Medusa,
news.
Medusa, the Camazotz one, as well as the Jing are all going to be directly purchasable. Oh no, Camazotz isn't a chest. Medusa, Kuzenbo.
Yes.
I always mess up Kuzenbo and Camazotz, and the Jing. So those are all directly purchasable.
Okay, Medusa and Kuzenbo both. That's
Yep.
Medusa's
Yeah. She's
direct.
awesome.
Directly
Yeah,
purchasable,
okay.
guys.
Yeah.
All right, now serious business. You won't
Directly
be able to
purchasable,
try to
man.
throw me up, but that's not going to happen here. Savvy, you're smiling too much. Listen, girl, listen. What's going on with the season ticket right now? Because there's been issues.
Season
and
What's
I
going on
can't
with the season
get
ticket,
my
guys?
votes in.
Look,
Hear it.
don't take your anger from Pon Pon out on me.
Oh, I will.
I'll tell
I
you what's
will.
up, though. I'll tell
I
you
don't.
what's up.
I want to hear the
So,
skit.
over the past day or so, players were unable to vote on a couple of matches on
We
all
weren't able to
platforms,
vote?
So we fixed
What?
the problem, and in compensation, anyone who has purchased the summer spring split.
Spring?
The summer
Say that-
split pass.
I can't speak today. Say
Let's
that 10
giggle,
times
guys.
fast.
Let's just
Anybody
giggle.
who has the summer split pass is getting 250 fantasy points. And
Fantasy
additionally,
points!
if
Holy
players are still
shit!
seeing
We're
a
getting
black
fantasy
screen when
points,
they load up the
boys!
season ticket,
Woo!
just reinstall
Let's
Smite. I know
go!
that's annoying to do, but it'll fix that problem permanently.
Yeah, it's a
Let's
small group of
fucking
people that have that
go!
issue.
Okay,
Way
so
to
the
make up
issue
for that
was
air.
Smite,
Let's
and that was to fix
go!
it, but everybody
Hell
who has had
yeah,
the
I am
issue will
hyped.
receive- How much was
Yes.
250 fantasy points.
it? That better be right. I'll speak to
250!
you again.
Think
You
of
know,
everything we
I'll
can
be
get with
here, I'll be
250
here.
points.
Amanda,
Oh
there's
my
some
god!
promotions going on this weekend, though. What do the guys at home need to know
Yeah.
about what things we've got going on?
I am
Well, we've
ready to
got the
go,
biggest event
dude.
This weekend is every day you win your first 3 wins of the day, and you will unlock a chest. So Friday and Sunday is going to be the Enigma
A
chest,
chest.
and then Saturday is the cutesy avatar chest, which has
We
a new
got a chest.
avatar.
Which
It's got
one?
Yes.
A
Which one?
chest
It's got
and
Cutesy
FP?
Scylla,
Yeah.
right?
Oh
Cutesy Scylla.
my
Last time I
god.
She's already cute. What do you mean?
Woo!
Well, now she's
About
10
me.
times
Iris is
cuter,
hooking
and you
us
can
up
get
this
free.
week,
All
boys.
that chest.
Yeah,
So they're all available this weekend?
Yep.
Just for the weekend, or is it for a few days
Let's
after, or
go.
all around there?
it's just Friday, Saturday,
Just
Sunday.
Friday, Saturday,
Cool. Okay, make sure you follow these ladies on Twitter as well, because if you do so, they'll give
I
you
can't
more
wait.
information than me.
You
And
guys
can
gave me
reach
the
them
best.
directly,
Thank
so
you
don't have to
guys.
wait for me to
Thank
do
you
it
for
on
giving me
patch
that
notes.
information.
Fair
I
enough.
don't know what I would have done without it. My week
Specifically
is
for Savvy
made
Dot
because of
Savvy.
you all.
Amanda,
Thank you.
so much for your time. Take it easy, and we'll see you on the battlegrounds. Peace. Back to the desk we are, and finally I've got Pom next to me.
Yep.
What went wrong?
All right, guys, what's up?
So game dev's hard, and somehow I think all the skins just don't have their actual skin voice pack anymore,
Okay.
which is
Hold
kind of
on,
neat.
hold
I don't
on,
know
hold on.
how that breaks, but it broke. That's my running theory. I'm gonna stick to it.
We need to talk about testing, though, don't we?
It could also just be that you
Should
were
talk about
gone for
testing.
a long time, and so I just got lax and
Yeah.
my
Yeah. They got
polish,
legs.
so.
Let's get on with the beef of the
Oh, wow.
show, though, which is
Let's
the
do it,
patch
Hindu.
note section.
The beef.
You all
Get
like
me in the
waiting
beef,
for
boy.
it. Not really. You want it as quick as
Pom
possible.
Pom, what do we
so
got
we'll get
today,
on to
buddy?
it. First thing to mention, players can no longer vote to unpause during a ranked pause until 3 seconds have passed.
Yeah, when that person disconnects and everyone starts spamming the pause. And
Are you serious, Pom Pom? You did
You
this?
have to wait 3 seconds.
You're the
for
The
best.
dream. Now, I do
3
understand the
seconds,
situation at home. I
man,
think
you're the
one of
best.
The reasons with the pause
They're
thing
awesome.
there is the reason we can't actually just
Thanks,
give it another
Pon.
key binding is
Oh.
because
Yeah.
it also is a bit of an issue of finding the right keys to use, correct?
Yeah,
And for box and things like that, and for console players, it's very difficult to find enough buttons for them to be able to press to, you know, vote.
Pom
Yeah,
Pom, you
especially
agree
on
with this?
console, it's
Yeah.
kind of hard to just add a new keybind because that,
Sure.
that not only limits what you can do in the future, but it also is like just hard to do in general. So this solution essentially fixes the problem in the easiest way possible.
It's fixed.
People won't just be
Fixed,
spamming
Pond.
it anymore and immediately
It's fixed,
unpause.
man.
Awesome.
You're the best.
On top of that as well, we've also fixed an issue on the standings tab in the season ticket where overall records for teams during an
standings?
event would be listed as 0-0.
The
Awesome.
standing?
Season ticket fix.
These changes are
So
insane.
along with what the ladies were saying a little bit earlier from the community.
These changes are
and
nuts.
We'll move on to the bug fix section, my new favorite section. I'm
this
so glad
one's
this stayed.
actually. This one I purposely made small for you. I could have listed out all the things we fixed,
Oh, did you?
but I purposely kept it small.
Bless. I mean, I could
These
have
bug fixes are going to be terrible.
I mean, it would have been the same thing over and over again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I like that.
And as much as that's fun to just kind of laugh and watch
I
you
still
do
get
it.
tweets about that, you know?
Yeah.
Never joking. So the bug selection fixes are studded binding fixed many banishes and slows, not causing the passive to be applied.
Mhm.
And on top of that, the
Wait, that works on
reinforced hammer
banishes? I didn't even
fixed
know that.
many slows, not causing the passive to be applied.
There you go. You would have had to read that probably
Bug
like
fixes.
I
Good
think
bug
roughly like
actually
20 or 30
relevant bug
times
fixes.
otherwise.
I
I
basically
like
say
it.
the Titan has fallen, the team
I
has
like it.
won, like how many times a week? Like,
yeah.
so it's the same sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's not too much
You're
of
used
an
to
issue.
it.
Yeah. Oh, it's like Raph is dead again. What a surprise, you know?
Oh, another EU
I
joke
actually
can do.
trolled Raptor not too long
Oh, you
ago.
did?
Pon, don't you
He
get
had
it? It's so
an
funny.
inappropriate clan name,
Another
so
EU joke.
I made it more
Oh, I
appropriate.
heard about that. Yeah, I did. Not for
That's
air,
funny.
though.
That was
All
a
the
good
bug
joke.
fixes for gods this time. Just a quick one for Ganesha. The Dharmic Pillars, the ultimate. Fixed Ganesha's ultimate not highlighting enemies near the corners of the ultimate collision.
Yeah, the pillars that are around there, they were just interfering with what was detected as a hit or not. So
Gotcha.
it's fixed.
So a little quick fix there, and now we're on to
Ganesh is about to be
major
OP,
issues
by the
of
way,
patch.
guys.
Yep.
Straight
Which we're
OP.
going to start off with gameplay and balance changes, which we were all expecting to talk about here today, so we'll get straight onto it.
What are we talking about,
Go through
Mr.
what's
Hindu?
going on. I'll
Mr.
break it
Pond?
down, first of all, what's happening, and Pond's going to explain it in further detail.
Oh, do I got
So, you know,
papers?
the player experience
Alright.
levels, we are going
Got
to
my
be
patch
decreasing the amount of experience needed to go from level 1 to level 2.
Oh, they're actually going to put it in?
8 experience to 225 if you really want the math.
They're putting it in!
Level 2 to 3, the experience is going to increase. So it's going to be 363 to 430. And then experience to go from level 3 to level 4 is 418 to 434. Pom Pom, explain to me exactly why we're doing this change.
Explain
So
it, Pon.
we talked about this last week, and similar reasons. These are the exact same numbers from last week. It's to make it so that the first wave, whether you're soloing it or you're splitting it, is going to hit you level 2.
Okay.
And then level 2 and level 3 being adjusted are there to make sure that by the time you hit level 4, you're back to the normal experience curve. And we're doing this because people who had map knowledge were able to kind of abuse the situation where they could push really, really hard, go take the minis, and then make it really, really difficult for a team to fight back. And what we saw number-wise is actually didn't increase. This didn't cause Snowball to increase necessarily. We actually saw games go longer on average. It caused a frustration factor of people feeling like they were helpless for a longer period of time.
Okay.
And so
Oh,
this is
so
directly
now
to make
when
it
I hit
so
level
for a more even
2
level
on
one.
Ninja on the first
And in
wave,
general, people being
I can
more
kill
even level
them.
limits the options the enemy team can
All
use to
right.
get ahead, especially super early on. So we expect this to slow down the snowball of the early game.
There's been a
Oh,
lot of
so
talk
I'm
on
not
Twitter
gonna get a
around
kill at level
people
2,
coming up
Pon?
with suggestions that
When
could
I
be
clear the
done
full
to
wave
this
before
one.
them, I'm
One
not
thing
gonna
that
kill the
is that
plebs who don't
reducing the
understand
amount
to
of
sit under the
experience you get
tower.
from The babies around
You hear this?
blue
You hear
buff
this,
and the
Hindu?
red buff and such.
You hear this?
Why did we not go for that route? Why was that a lot
I'm
of
at level 2
possibilities?
so
I
soon.
think, I think before
You
we
don't
get
hear
to
this?
that,
You don't.
we
You
want to harp
Pon,
a
you
little
don't.
more on why
Come
we
on,
made
man.
this particular change and some of the feedback we got from it.
Sure.
One was that, well, this could just become a kill lane, right? You could just be super aggressive.
Exactly.
get
Yeah,
level 2
exactly.
first, and then engage on the other team.
Yep.
The players can play around it, right? They can be like, okay,
Oh.
they have stronger push. We're going to go back a little bit.
Play safe.
We
We're
can
gonna
sit
play
on the
them safe.
tower.
We know that we'll get level 2 anyway. If we
That's
wanna go
so
take our
fun,
minis,
man.
because they're not getting
Let's
level
sit on that
easily,
tower.
Kind of more
Yeah.
than it was before. Plus,
Good
we can also
call.
follow them into the jungle and we'll actually be level 2 to fight them versus being level
Yeah, so their level 2 could still be better than ours.
We want to make sure this gets
So we
tested
can follow
and the
them
possibility
at level
of
2 while they're
see
level
how
2
actually perform
and have a
live.
better level 2.
This change is kind of the
Hi,
Okay.
everybody.
because that could happen. Maybe
Yeah,
try this
yeah.
instead.
Okay.
And reducing mini experience is a
Yeah.
very scary change because
It is.
it's going to reduce. You had to reduce every camp.
You hear
by
that?
about
So now
15
shitty early
experience,
gods
40 total,
can now hit
25,
2 and then
24,
die to the other
which
level
is-
2s. It's crazy.
So 16 experience off those times 2 for each camp times 4 for each side times 2 again for all the map, and that's a whole bunch of map experience lost.
Yeah,
It'll
it
occur
is.
over the entire course of the game as they keep respawning.
Yep.
Okay.
So a
Let's go
focus
snowball.
change at level 2 will actually we'll be able to look at that very clearly and be like, here's what's the change that's caused by people hitting level 2 quicker. By changing the map experience total for the jungle, it's going to be much more difficult to tell. And we didn't want to just add that to the big camps because that now incentivizes a different style of play where people
I do like an XP
focus on
change.
hypervading and
I
being
like
really
the
aggressive
idea.
at controlling it. and that could potentially snowball it worse than we've seen. And plus, that'll also have an impact over the course of the entire game. So rather than doing that first, we're going to focus on the specific aspect, the specific problem, and a potential fix for it.
There was some
Potential fix. At least Pon knows this isn't the fix.
Actually help as well.
The possible fix. The start to a fix. I'll give them that. They're making change. Can't complain.
25 seconds. Solo, I think, is like 27, and duo is like 28, 29. It's about right. And that kind of disparity causes the jungler to start in mid because they want to be there with the minion wave first. It kind of limits some options. It makes also like rotating a little bit weird off the first wave. We actually want to fix this, but this is something that is going to.
This isn't what makes me start mid, bitch. The mid creeps reach the mid lane and can be fully cleared before my speed spawns. Change the speed timer. Drop it 3 seconds. I need 3 more seconds on my speed before the mid creeps meet. Please.
Also, if
Pop out right here, I'm giving you the answer. 3 seconds.
We can also look at mid-season to do other changes.
No, Weekend is right here. Not Weekend fix this. Weekend is telling you how to fix it.
Closely and make steps towards mid-season and at
3 seconds, Pon. Give me 3 seconds. That's it. 3 more seconds with my creeps.
In terms of balance, we do have a few other things that are going to be going on. The Gold Fury adjustments. We've increased the base health from 2,250 to 2,550, as well as we've decreased the base gold worth of this from 190 to 150. So it's gone up in health and down in gold.
Yes. So this is also paired with the Portal Demon change that we'll talk about in a little bit. But we were also seeing teams in the early game, especially around like the 8 to 10 minute mark, they'd win one fight because they had an advantage in the early game. And off that one fight, they could take a Gold Fury because it was low health and very easy to kill. And then they could also take a Portal Demon, which would give them even more. And that was something we actually saw contribute to Snowball a little bit more. It was the indirect consequence of the early game being a little bit this thing that you could kind of like push forward your level. And you push forward your level, you get one advantage.
This Gold Fury change is a nice change, by the way, guys.
So we're making Gold Fury a little bit.
This actually affects Snowball.
By the time late game comes around, it'll be
like directly. Like it's maybe not crazy amount, but it's directly changing Snowball and potential Snowball.
In terms of the gold.
And that's what I get to now. Portal Demon's down from 150 gold to 100 gold now. So overall, it's a 40 gold decrease on the gold of the Gold Fury.
These are great changes, dude.
Decrease in the gold from the Portal Demon is to 50. So overall,
good job on these changes, man.
I'm
proud of you.
Anyway,
we're really trying to highlight that Portal Demon, Gold Fury is the advantage you want if you want to get golden experience for your team.
Sure.
Portal Demon can give you that in the case where you can't get Gold Demon or Gold Fury because it's down or you're in a dangerous spot. But it gives a huge tactical advantage. We want to make sure that tactical advantage is the one that's highlighted, not necessarily the gold gain or the experience.
Okay, well that's adjustments to the game balance. But
there it is, boy.
To move on to the item balance itself.
Also, fun note. No, fun note.
You're gonna be scared then.
No, yeah, we're
Vanguard.
fine. We have Spectator on PTS. That's been sometimes bugged when we have PTS out.
So we can scrim on PTS.
Coaches will be able to spectate games and get really prepared for the upcoming
SPL. Yeah, because this patch is going to hit just before SPL.
So people will actually be able to play on that, spectate it, really watch the.
Holy shit! So I have to scrim on the fucking PTS. I'm only going to be playing PTS. I forgot. Son of a bitch.
We'll find out. But it's time to move on to item balance now. First up, top of the shop is going to be
Vanguard
Mark of the Vanguard. This is going to get
buddy.
To its passive. The flat damage reduction that used to be 5 is going to go down to 4, so it's just 1 off the top.
Yeah, it's 1 off the top, which over the course of over the course of an entire game, especially the early laning phase, the amount of minion damage you're taking, the amount of poke you're taking in the other laner, this will amount up to being a little bit less effective.
Okay.
We've just seen people pick this up, mostly ignore trades.
This is a nice change. I like it. Zoran, thank you for the 300 biddies, by the way. 200 biddies. Sorry.
Vanguard. I'm just going to heal up forever. We're also looking at Death Toll as separately, but that's a little bit more complicated.
Okay.
But Mark of the Vanguard is kind of our first step towards looking at that kind of like unkillability and like you can't get poked back because you have so much defense.
Gotcha. Next up on the list is Chronos Pendant, and is that right?
Yeah, Chronos Pendant.
Go
yeah, dude. It's a cool item.
They buffed Chronos Pendant.
It's going up 20 power?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
man.
80 power?
I mean...
And cooldown reduction?
This is nuts,
dude.
This is nutty.
Kind of afraid of when we first made it, right? It was the idea that you're boosting yourself past the CDR cap. It's a luxury item, clearly, because of that and its cost. And so we were kind of reserved in the power that it gave. As the seasons have developed, it's really not fallen into anyone's build. People aren't really picking up because it's just kind of too slow to pick up. We're increasing the power a little bit and see where it falls after that.
Spicy.
Yeah, mage build's getting a little bit of a shake-up.
Yeah, I can tell. Next up on the list, though, is Emerald Mail. We've increased the health of this from 200 to 250.
This was actually some direct feedback that we got in that building into these items, like the Shield of Regrowth or the Gauntlet of Thieves, was a bit difficult because the Tier 2 didn't feel as effective.
Okay.
It was only 100 extra health for 600 gold, which that's a lot of investment to make for not a lot of defenses.
I agree.
And so it's going up a little bit.
They probably should have thrown some
item that's built off that tree, but this will make the overall tree a little bit easier to build into.
What did they nerf? They nerf Gauntlet of Thebes?
Gauntlet of Thebes, I believe.
Yes.
Gauntlet of Thebes is going to get a bit of a nerf
shit.
this patch, and it's just going to be on the reduced health from 400
Oh, it's just a little bit of health?
350,
Not
so
the
just
worst.
a touch off the top.
Yeah. It's a weird aura item, right? Because it gives all protections.
Yep.
And it gives a lot of health.
Yep.
And so all protections plus a whole bunch of health makes it this really good total effective health item that makes you really tanky.
It reminds me of
against a lot
old school
scenarios.
sovereignty.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like real old school sovereignty, yeah.
And so sovereignty, because it's physical only, right? You can deal with it with magical damage. Heartward Amulet, you can deal with physical damage.
Sure.
And because like there are 2 items, you have to invest 2 goals to get all that protections, where this one gives you only 1. So we're reducing its health a little bit so people aren't so tanky in the early phase. If they really need a counter physical or counter magical, they should be going for the other auras first.
Okay, well, we'll see how that one plays out for Gauntlet of Thebes and the Emerald Mail as well. Next up is Stone of Fal with a cost reduction. It was 2,900 gold, it's down 200 to 2,700.
We've seen this with a few other
That's
really
it?
situational items. This is very much anti-burst, where it's expensive because it's really good at the thing it stops, but
This
if
should
it's
be like
too
a
expensive, it's not good
2,500
enough
gold
in
item
enough
pawn.
situations.
2,500
So we're bringing
pawn.
the cost down so that when you
Hear
build
me out,
into this,
man.
you're not so
You
behind.
want, I understand.
Okay.
You don't
I
want to
mean,
break
it's
the item. You
a
don't
bit
make it
more
OP.
cost-efficient for what you're gonna get from
2,500
this
gold.
one.
Maybe 26.
1,000
Probably
Blade
25.
up next, which is increased
No
physical
nerf.
power from 15
Oh,
to 20. This is
baby!
similar to
Rank
Emerald
2.
Mail.
Yeah,
Heart
similar.
Seeker buff.
Essentially, the upgrade
like
was
it.
very little movement speed and power for a lot of gold. We're making it a little bit easier to build into the Katana tree as a whole.
Yeah, buddy.
As well as the final item to be balanced this patch is
Psych
Shift
Fanatic, it does
Shield.
not.
This one's
It
fun.
just, it doesn't give me money either. It just,
because I'm scared because I've not had
helps
chances
me
to
out.
patch this. I just saw Chronos Pendant. I'm like mind blown. And
Yeah,
okay.
Shifters is great.
So Shifter's Shield, reduced power from 40 to 35, increased passive bonus physical power from 20 to 35, reduced physical protection from 20 to 15, reduced magical protection from 20 to 15, and increased passive bonus protections from 20 to 35. Is this a buff or a nerf?
This is a buff.
buff.
So it basically has 2 forms, right? It has its power form, which has 60 power and 20 protections, and then it had its defensive form, where it had 40 power and I think 40 protections. And so essentially what we're doing now is making it the power form way more powerful. It's 70 power with only 15 protections. So it's more offensive, a little bit less
Holy
defensive.
crap.
Shifts, it's way more defensive and a little
Holy
bit less powerful.
Like its name suggests.
crap.
Yeah, essentially, right? We're just highlighting the fact that this is the situation like when you're
Holy
high health, you want to engage
shit.
with all your power. You get 70 power, which is a very high power item. When you're low, you want to survive. So because it's a design that shifts into the right situation for the right thing that you need at the time, this is overall a buff.
Better well since we've seen Shifter's Shield really in the meta, so we'll see if it does.
It also
Woo!
it was kind of competing a little bit with
75 power.
Is like a little bit of health and defenses and power. This one's much more
75 power.
I'd much rather have the raw power or the raw protections.
I want to go aggressive, but when I'm in trouble, I want to run for my life and hope I'll live.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
That's Shifter's Shield's gonna be the new top item.
It's time to move on.
Damn.
To the God balance section. Ooh.
Damn.
Are we in alphabetical order today?
Oh, jeez. I
Of
don't
course
know.
we're
nuts.
not. It's Pom Pod.
I mean,
For
We
Nuno's
don't
nerf.
prep anything for our shows.
I
Pom
know
Pom.
that's a whole bunch of. There's
Oh.
2 C's, there's an E, there's a G. That's alphabetical so far.
Yeah.
That looks alphabetical to me.
Yeah.
I don't think I've gotten this wrong in a while. We just like to poke fun at it.
I was actually trying to throw. I was trying to throw you off there and see if you got it wrong. I was honest.
Voice packs were the only thing I haven't
Well,
gotten
it's about
down.
time.
I've learned the
It's
alphabet.
about time. Listen, it's about time. Kernos. He's
Yeah,
getting
Kernos is
nerfed.
here.
Thank
It's about
God.
time. Why did it take so long, first of all?
We want to see how he performs, right? It's
For
3
we all saw how he
months?
performed.
well, like the difference between like how people play him, whether he's popular or whether he's just like there's counter picks that are available to him. We saw him move around a little bit. We just wanted to give him a little bit of breathing time so that he could actually play before he got significant nerfs.
Breathing time. Shifter of season. Sorry, first of all, we're going to decrease the physical power scaling of this from 20%. Why the hell was it 20%? Down to 10%.
Good change.
And
Let's
not only that,
go.
the Bramble Blast has had an increase in its cooldown from 30
Yes.
to 15 seconds as well.
Thank
now, I understand,
you.
Like, we touched him once or twice here or there. And
Nuno's
left it a little
nerfs
bit.
in the bag,
obviously, we don't want to
boys.
keep hitting the same abilities time and time
Yeah.
again, so we're just trying to find the edges on things to really bring down here. Is that what it feels
Yeah,
like?
most of it was the amount of damage he just pumped out in a game compared to other hunters was significantly higher. Because he had Bramble Blast on a low cooldown, it was really easy to confirm.
Sure.
That constituted a lot of damage over the course of the game. Similarly, Summer, every time you autoed, you had essentially 20% extra scaling on your autos. That contributed a lot. And so we're just toning down that kind of top-end damage. When he's sitting in Summer form, it's going to be a little bit less effective. He has to actually shift into the other seasons to actually get the full benefit still.
Yeah.
Like like a lot of people would just sit in Summer, it's fine, and maybe go to Winter. Now you're more incentivized to actually go for the pen so that you can get the more damage, and then go to Summer. It raises the skill cap a little bit
Good
to be
change.
doing more effective damage. And Bramble Blast is on a long cooldown, which does 2 things. It lowers his damage throughout the whole game
And
because
clear.
he's casting it less. It's lowering his clear the whole game because he's casting it less. And he also is removing some of his survivability and ability to engage because he no longer is rooting as often.
Okay. More nerfs to Kurnos. We'll see what you guys think at home, I'm sure. But next up is Chung. And Chunga's going to get a nerf as well.
Yeah, she has been kind of long-standing trying to get into Conquest, and this season specifically, she really showed up. And so
Nerf?
now she's had about,
Nerf?
I don't know, 9 patches of being
No more
pretty
Chunga Man?
good in-
Permaban.
Nerf.
Yeah, pretty
Nerf.
good in Conquest.
Nerf.
We're looking
Nerf.
to adjust her a little bit
Nerf.
more. We didn't
Nerf.
target
Nerf.
specifically damage things because
Healing.
that helps her stay in the Conquest map. We targeted a few things that are a
Healing.
little bit frustrating to fight around or a little bit more
Healing.
too efficient for her.
Or broken
So
ultimate.
it's Moonlit Waltz, first of all, that's going to get changed. And that's going to have the cooldown, increased cooldowns, I should say, from 20 to 12 is now going to be 20 to 14. There's a couple of 0.5s in there on the levels as well for that scale. In
Not
fact, a few guys at home
a
who
big
are
nerf.
really detailed on the numbers. And not only that, the Moonflower Dance, we've actually increased the cooldown of that from 10 to 12 seconds. as
Okay,
well. That's a big
that's-
jump there.
Yeah,
Nice.
she's healing a
Yeah,
bit
that's a big
less.
jump.
She's also immuning damage a bit less, so
Okay.
that she's a little bit. She has more opportunity to be caught out, countered if she's in a bad position. Again, we didn't want to really hit her damage or the.
They're nerfs,
her
but like
ultimate.
you
She
have
really
full
looks to keep
CDR
her
on
in
Chunga
Conquest.
usually anyway, or a lot of
But
CDR.
These things were a little bit frustrating to fight against, so we're turning this.
So
Okay. Next on the list
probably
is
still
Erlang
decent.
Shen, and Erlang's going to
Buff?
get a bit of love this patch. It
Buff?
seems. We're going to look at towards his
Erlang
base
jungle?
stats. That seems to be like the run of
Oh,
show
no, it's
here,
Erlang
because the
solo
Warriors
buff,
getting
it's
a bit of
base
love,
stats.
right?
Yeah, we did this a little bit in the past, right? With Osiris, you got a bit.
Damn,
of
that's a
love.
lot of attack
Silver Khan
speed.
got a little bit of love. We have a few this patch. We're just kind of looking at Warriors as a whole and seeing kind of which ones need a little bit love to do well in the solo lane or maybe even the jungle.
Okay. So Erlang Shen's base stats are going to go up from 38 to 39 in base power, and not only that, his attack speed will go up from 0.8 to 1 as well. So that 1 is actually pretty big.
Yeah, we're just highlighting the fact that he's this in-hand warrior, right? Like
And he is.
He had a lot of utility before. He was kind of mixed in his roles. As we've trimmed
They're
down
looking
some of
like
his
they're trying to
ground
promote a
control,
jungle
really
Erlang,
his
if you
his
ask
ability
me.
to deal damage kind of
Especially
fell off
with
as
the
well.
shifter
So now we're
shield
just
buff.
highlighting that ability to deal
Ooh,
damage.
baby.
Next on the list is Guan Yu. Guan Yu's going to have a look at his Warrior's Will. We're going to increase the physical power scaling from 50% to 60%, so a 10% increase. And not only that, the
Okay.
Tallow Assault increased duration of protection steal from 3 seconds to scaling from 3 seconds all the way up to 5 seconds now. That's a pretty decent buff, that one.
Yeah, Warriors was
That's
going to do a bit more
okay.
damage, but I think the big one here is the Tallow Assault change,
Yeah,
right?
that's
one.
It's,
Yeah.
you're going to have more protections for longer, and you're going to have shredded the target for longer, which
That's
means
actually
you have
pretty
longer
nice.
opportunity for your teammates to take advantage of the fact that you shredded. You're going to be a little bit tankier for longer. You can stay in. You might see him actually successfully jungle these changes.
DJ Pernicus may return to Eager here.
Damn. Pawn
Sorry,
your
Sam.
shots at DJ.
Sorry,
I had
buddy.
to- I had
Shots
to
at
blame
DJ,
Tom.
bro.
My bad.
that's
Me
my
and
fault.
you.
You just
Me
got
and
a
you.
team too, and
Yeah.
DJ's going to be back. Hades! Hades? How's Hades doing?
Very good.
Hades
Very,
OP.
Very good.
They're gonna
He's
nerf
been
Hades.
Very high on the stats overall in like a lot of regards. Even when you factor in like the super high elo rank or MMR games, he is doing pretty well. In casuals, he's doing very well. And so we're looking to tone down some of his ability to escape, ability to survive. We're not toning down his damage because that's one of the big things we gave back to him, so that he could be
Yes.
kind of this burst mage. And we like that his new playstyle is adapted to that. But he was living too long, he was escaping too often. And because we're toning those things down, we're giving him a little bit more utility with his silence.
So Death from Below will go from 12 seconds to 14 seconds now. Shroud of Darkness decreased the cooldown on this. It used to be 15 to 11. It's now 14 to 10. And Devour Souls decreased power scaling on the Detonate Heal from 15% to 10% as well.
Yep, so he won't be able to engage or disengage as
Okay.
often with Death from Below. He'll be able to silence more often, which is kind of this cool utility thing. So
I
it's
kind of
highlighting
like
that ability
Hades
he has,
being
and he'll be
viable, so
healing
I
for less,
hope
so
this
he'll be
doesn't
healing to full health, especially in the late game. as
change.
well.
Like I don't think it'll change
And next
Hades
on the
that
warrior
much,
list is
but I
Odin
hope it
now.
doesn't.
Odin's
You
gonna
never
get
know.
A bit of a change too. This is on Gunge's Might, which is the 3. Increased base damage from 35 to 95. He's going to actually go up to 45 to
We can't see.
125. That's a bit of a
We can't
nice change,
see.
that. And Gunge's Might second swing.
Roll the
will
fuck
now
down,
also slow.
production.
I never knew that.
Yeah,
I actually
only
thought
the
they both
first
slowed.
swing did.
I thought they both slowed.
Nope,
Increased
only
base
the first one did.
damage.
The second one had to be
Ooh.
added.
Won't
So,
believe that.
yeah,
Okay.
big thing.
Oh,
is that
that's
actually, This
awesome.
is an ability now. You don't just max sleep and bird bomb and then put
Don't
ones
even
into
care
it.
about the 3.
Yeah,
Cool.
it actually
Playing
will
it.
deal damage pretty significantly now.
That 1.1. And finally, on the balance section is
Slow buff.
Susano.
Oh, nerf the Susano.
Susano.
Yeah, he has a nerf here.
Susano, yes.
He's a bit good.
I hate him. I'm not joking. Like, there's only one gun in the game that I hate. Actually, no, I hate Bakasura too because he's not fun to play
Wow, I
against.
can't be
ever.
friends with you.
But he's not fun to play against. He's great fun to play as, and everyone enjoys playing him. But he's not fun to play against.
Yeah, overall his stats are only really good at the super high end as people make use of him.
Okay.
But we understand he's fairly frustrating. We've had this messaging with him before. We're toning down specifically frustration on the Typhoon, right? The Typhoon, once you're caught in it, you're basically stuck in it, and you sit there and wait until he fully charges
The
it.
vortex strength? That's so weird that there's a number for
You're going
that.
to escape because you're on like the extra edge range. He's going to just use it really quickly. He's going to let charge up enough to knock back. We've reduced the pull strength of the Typhoon, and we've also reduced how much it slowed you while you were in it. So now players who are caught in it will be pulled in a little bit, but they will have a lot more chance to escape. So if he gets a whole bunch of people in, he either needs to fire it immediately to get the damage out, or people are going to have time to spread out and start splitting up so that he has to choose what direction he wants to go in. So a little bit more counterplay to the Typhoon.
Cool. The good news is it's already on the screen, so I don't have to read this one. Where can we just do this anyway, right? Like,
the numbers are kind of invisible rules that like determine his strength, so like there's not really good context for them. But essentially what it means is, I'm a character, I'm caught in it, I'm going to be able to run out effectively now.
Biggest change that you think is important here, other than the experience? I think that's the clear biggest one that's going to be talked about, but what's the other ones?
Geez, I actually think the Guan Yu one has a lot of potential. He's often kind of...
That's all that changes?
He's kind of built this like weird way of cooldown reduction and damage. Having protections for longer really highlights other items that can increase his like health.
I don't think that Susanoo nerf is going to be enough.
Because he has protections for longer, which helps him stay alive longer. But I think Guan Yu has
really
good potential now to come out and be really strong.
I don't. If Guan is OP off of that buff, my mind's going to be blown.
But it's not all over just yet, so
New
don't
God.
worry.
New God. New God. New God. New God. New God. New God.
Well, if it's the base god, it's the bug I think it is, then yes.
Well, we'll find out after this quick moment. Let's take a little look as Pompon gets himself back to checking out this new god. Daji, I believe the name is the Nine-Tailed Fox.
Daji! Oh, fuck, we gotta move ourselves.
These gods will soon feel the most excruciating pain.
Is this it? This is motherfucking Circuit in a fox form. I'm fucking excited!
There's a little look at Daji early on, and
where are these guys here?
Is Chuck Fishman and AJ to bring down and break down the new god that's coming out. As first of all, so God, goddess, tomato tomorrow. They're all the same thing.
So did he say tomato tomorrow?
That's good. I like that. We don't have to hear him anymore.
Male for male.
I'm sorry. I'll forgive you because I know AJ's got a lot to talk about with this one as well.
Yes, testing. Oh,
there we go. We're back.
I was gonna say I'll let my shirt speak for me. It's pretty loud.
So
667.
First things first. I guess we should start off with Daji.
Samurai Joe, thank you for the 4 months.
AJ, tell me a little bit about what is her lore and why is she going to be joining the Battlegrounds.
So Daji's lore is super fun or super horrific, depending on what type of person you are.
Oh, it's fun. It's fun.
But it's really interesting. So essentially the story of Daji is there's an emperor in ancient China, and he visited a temple to Nuwa, and he was like, wow, Nuwa is an amazing goddess. I love this goddess. I want to express my love for her. And he did that in a poor choice of ways to do it. He scribbled a love note that was maybe not very respectful on the walls of her temple.
667.
So
he graffitied on the walls.
Yeah.
Is what
it was like A-girl.
Thank you for the 11-month diligent
poetry.
Oh, right.
So Nuwa gets really upset at this and is like, I'm going to send someone to take this emperor down.
Okay.
So she finds an ancient immortal fox spirit that is just
pure. Shay, thank you for the resub.
Just the embodiment of kind of torture and seduction.
Okay.
And sends it down to possess a human female.
Right.
So then Jin tells her to get the emperor to fall in love with you and bring his empire down.
I'm back,
so
baby.
Daji, that's where Daji
Keto
comes.
Beeswax is
merged
back.
with the fox
What up,
spirit.
man? Thank you for the sub.
The emperor, while they're pillaging and rampaging through the country, conquering things, they find Daji and he takes her into his personal set of girlfriends and quickly
personal set of girlfriends. I like that.
I'm doing my. This is a dark lore, so I'm trying my best. Keep it PG-13.
My set of girlfriends.
Right. So yeah,
667.
There's some bad ones all over the place.
Crap,
Take
somebody
my
subs.
sub.
Anyway,
Bohands,
so
thank you
now
guys
Daji
for
is
the
with
subs. Thank you,
emperor.
Bohands.
Quickly,
thank you for the train,
emperor
guys.
starts focusing only on Daji, and he will do whatever she wants, and he's doing this crazy parties and spending all of his resources, and at the same time that he's doing this, she's also being absolutely horrible to the people of the kingdom, and she just likes to torture them and punish them for crimes in way more harsh ways than they need to be, even to the point where she just did to hurt people just for fun or just for her own learning's sake. She would just do this, and as this kept going, she kind of lost sight of her task from Nuwa, and she was like, whatever, I'm not gonna whatever. I'm just gonna do whatever I want, and just have
having
fun
a good
with
time.
it,
Yeah,
and just go completely rogue. Right, completely rogue. And this just continues on, and she eventually creates her own signature type of torture device, which we'll get to in the kit. It's featured in the kit.
Oh,
it's pretty
shit,
dark.
that's awesome.
Okay.
And eventually, this causes the whole empire to crumble, and there's a huge war breaks out, and the entire empire is destroyed.
Okay.
But Daji, the immortal fox spirit, lives on.
Mission accomplished.
Crib notes from what I caught of that. She's a harlot who will get you in a lot of trouble and seduce you and then murder you.
She's just in your
My
set
type
of
of
girlfriends.
My type of woman. I like it.
Let's not talk
She's dangerous.
So, Chuck, obviously you're the art director, designer.
Yes,
you know.
art
So
director.
what's the big plan with this? Obviously, we've seen some of the artwork. What was the big focal points then, knowing what we knew about Ari?
All right. Well, so there was 3 focal points, right? She's a seductress. She's an evil torturer. And she has 9 tails. That's a lot of tails.
Yeah.
We had a lot of arguments about that.
And I was like, we have to have the 9 tails.
And I was like, can't we go with like 4? Because this is a lot of animation work. Where are we going to put all these tails? How are we going to do it? It was not the easiest thing.
Did we get 9 though?
Yeah, we did. We did.
All right,
9.
I was just making sure because we were going to argue on air then, Chuck.
No.
If it was only 4,
They
like,
asked
what?
for
That makes no
9.
sense.
We give them 9.
Independently animated, it was a lot of work.
Where are
for
her
the team,
pants? She
really,
doesn't need
like,
pants.
It was.
Well, the question was, were we going to have 9 all the time,
Sure.
or just sometimes, right?
Yeah.
So.
When she killed someone, she'd like fan them out or something. But the 9 permanently.
Yes.
Yes.
That's awesome.
They're always there,
Every
flowing.
animation.
So the trick was, like we were when we have a goddess where like the sexy seductress thing is actually heavily focused in the lore, right? We heavily focused the character around that, but then we had all these tails getting in the way, So we had to do
in the way
some.
if you're not furry. That's the only issue, right? Like it'd be fine if they were.
Who isn't?
Yeah. Man, if you
Oh,
really
fish we
if you're
give the
into
game away.
that, then there's a lot of.
Oh, she looks
fur
good.
That is
there.
a lot of tails.
So, and then we did some interesting thing too. We were a little bit worried about the claws, kind of.
She looks
keeping her
evil,
from being
bro. I'm not gonna
feminine,
lie.
So we made
She
the
looks
claws
like
retractable,
the bad
where she can
person in every
disappear
Disney
them
movie
and
ever.
reappear them at will.
Also, we were
which
really happy to
turned out neat.
use a new kind of type of weapon. We maybe have something a little similar in some places, but anytime we can use, Kernanos glaive and this kind of new, actually individual finger blades was really nice, as opposed to just daggers or swords or something.
Which gives like a very surgical feel to her.
Which is referenced in the lore specifically.
Which is
She
what
liked
she
to
is.
cut
Look at
people
all the
open
tails.
specific,
People
yeah,
and-
dissect
So
them to
many
learn from them. So she's
tails.
got a very precise kind of cutting feel.
Well, now they've got on the screen.
electricity,
let's start
too.
going through her kit finally, because that took a long time to go through lore, but it's good lore, so we
I'm
should
sorry,
find out.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I
You
had to
get
play it out.
excited to get into it. It's fine. I get it. The passive, first of all, let's go through that, AJ. I think that will come to you
Yeah.
for that one.
So-
what exactly is her passive going to do?
Her passive is torture blades.
She's an assassin, first of all. Like,
Yes,
I know
assassin.
we passed
Sorry,
over
assassin,
that, but
yes.
it's pretty freaking clear.
China's Pantheon
If she's a
assassin.
murder,
Yeah.
Oh, what is that extra
aggressive,
damage? She
evil
bleeds.
woman.
Yeah,
She
assassin.
bleeds.
Right.
Her autos bleed.
That's
Look
true.
at that.
I mean,
It's
as
sticking
far
for
as, Chuck
4.
in
That's
this
12
process
extra
earlier
damage.
we were talking about, how foxy to make her and how
Dude,
evil
that's-
and stuff
what
and
the
we had
fuck?
landed on.
It
It
just
made a
took
lot of
like
sense for her to
20
be very,
times.
physical, pain inflicting, so not magical. And since she's
Bro,
kind of a
attack
human
one
possessed,
time and
it's
let me
very
see how many
much
dots
mostly
you
human
get.
with just the foxtails, which is her key, distinct.
Please, Spawn. Attack one
So then
time.
we have torture blades. This is something that just logically fit into the kit, both
It's a
visually
sick passive.
and
I wanna see the fucking
through design,
damage, though.
which
Yeah.
is Daji's basic attacks apply a bleed to the target, which ticks twice.
Look
Look
at
at
this.
this.
Okay.
They have a base component and a
Dude,
scaling
okay.
component. And
There's a
it can actually
scaling?
stack. So it's only 2 seconds, but as many attacks as you can get in that 2 seconds, you can have all of those bleeds happening at once.
Obviously, they will continue to stack up. So if you
Infinitely.
So if I got attack speed with this and like spammed away, I'd get more stacks of this.
Yes.
and
No, she has like a double
Yeah, so
attack
she does,
too.
Through this passive,
You see
scales a
that?
bit off attack speed.
Right.
She,
interesting.
her hit chain
We'll
is
see
like
how this
one,
combines with the rest of the kit then, 'cause it
one.
already bleeds to
point
the first
fucking
warning sign, I
2
guess,
or
yeah.
something.
As we look at first ability, horrible burns. Oh my god, she goes everywhere with a murder. Horrible burns. Is it called horrible burns?
Yes.
It is.
What a
She
great
likes
name.
burning people too.
This is not a person you want in your set of girlfriends.
I don't know. I do like
So-
a bit of heat in the bedroom sometimes. Horrible burns. What is it?
Oh, so again,
so
this is another
excited,
torture device
dude.
themed ability. It's going to stem her next in hand.
Yeah.
It's also going to reset her basic attack chain. It's going to apply a burst of
Another
damage
bullet
immediately.
dot?
It's also going to apply ticks of damage.
Did that just stick for
3 ticks
120?
3 seconds.
Okay.
And you can see
667.
that,
Number 1.
if
Was
you
there
pick your basic
burst
attack,
involved
it will-
too?
It will tick on top of the bleed that you're getting. from
Oh, so
basic
it's
damage.
It burns for
Right.
80 and then ticks
So
for fucking
refresh each other
40
with
every
one
time. Oh,
another.
it's max
So-
rank. Okay, that's max
That's
rank.
like
That's
yeah,
not
they all
OP.
refresh each
No,
other.
they're
That's
two
not OP.
independent
Every basic
tortures.
attack is going to bleed
Raymond Duck, thank you for the 5 months.
And the cooldown is just long enough that even with max CDR, you're only going to ever be able to apply 1 stack of it.
That is sick.
Okay, I like that. I like that ability.
That's a lot of. I like it. It's not crazy.
AJ,
but
what's this
awesome.
1,000 cuts.
Yes.
Herp derp. I wonder what's going to happen here.
Yeah, so this is a real
slice
key
you up.
ability
It's
to
a leap.
Daji, and probably the one you're going to want to level up first. This ability does
Really?
a lot. It does a lot of things.
Okay.
So, basically, it's a channeled cone.
That's not a
So
cone.
while she goes into a 2-second animation, where she attacks 4 times, dealing damage to
Can she
all
move?
enemies in front of her, and applying the bleed to torture blades on all 4 hits. So you get 4 hits. And applying torture blades. It also
That's a lot of
is going to
dots.
cleanse her of slows and make her move faster. This is where she's really. This is her
That's the
agility
assassin
kind of
sort of feel to it.
and
Yeah.
kind of a floaty, foxy,
Let's
spirit
Geo,
form, which is
whoa.
what comes from
Paid with the
ability.
super
It's got
$10
like a
sub. Let's
pseudo
go.
mobility,
Thank you, Hayden.
ability. It actually so cleanses slows and speeds her up when she's
It
firing
cleanses
it.
slows.
It has one more component,
Speeds
which
you up.
is
And it's
while she's channeling it, all enemies who are behind her deal less damage to her.
Oh, really?
So it depends on where the god is actually standing. It
It's
doesn't
like
have
the
anything
tails
to
of
do.
protecting us. Sort of
Yes.
thing.
Oh
Exactly.
my
So it's
gosh!
kinda
How
like,
much less?
It doesn't matter what type of.
How much less damage?
You know, if you're shooting or
You could just be
throwing
running
whatever,
away and pop that
projectiles,
shit to
foibles,
get
whatever.
out.
If your god is actually positioned behind Daji, you take reduced damage. So you saw there
How
it was
much
70
reduced?
reduced down to 40.
That's right.
They said it's a cleanse on that slow. It's not
Dang.
permanent.
It's
slow immunity.
It's slow
It's
immune
just
during the.
Oh, is it
during the
slow
channel.
immune as well? Not
During
just
the
cleanse.
channel.
I just
During
want
the
to
channel.
clear that one up as well.
Oh,
Cleanse immune during the
if she doesn't have
channel, as
mobility
well as the
though,
speed buff.
it's gonna be really hard to play this
Damage
god
and mitigation.
at first.
The
You're gonna have to
two,
learn a
like,
crazy
semicircle,
style.
Targeter also came out really well. It kind of looks evocative of like a fan almost. Very cool.
Dude, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm really happy with how
so
that
fucking
visually
excited.
this
Yeah.
ability came out. It's super fun to use. The audio and the hitting feels really good. There's good feedback there.
I wonder
This
what the
is one that took a
scaling
while
is.
to
I bet you
come
she has
together.
high
It was a
scaling.
bit of a
I bet you
risky
she has
one, but
like
I'm really happy with
80%
that.
scaling on
But
her
I've one
abilities. If
patch
she
that Sean is
doesn't,
going
I'll
to
be
have,
mind blown.
so I
Did
don't
you
know.
lose the second page?
I don't know who's on the second
80%
page. I don't know
total,
the names of the
unlike
abilities
the
on,
ones
so
that
let's go
multi
with it. Can I name the ability now because I don't know what it is?
If you name it Trickster Spirit, you can name it right now.
Spoiler.
How about you tell me about the third ability there?
The
then,
jump?
Fishman.
Is
What
it a jump or a
about,
dash?
Trickster Spirit.
Yeah.
Use
so
it.
this actually.
Oh, it
is
can
a-
only.
and
only to God?
what this is going to do is it's going to allow you to choose a target. If you don't have a target, then you cannot teleport. But you're
Is
going
it teleport
to
to friendlies
friend
or
ally.
enemies?
You're going to jump to them.
A friend or an enemy.
And yes, 'cause your allies or normally your friends.
It's a mini Loki, y'all.
They're not. Trust me.
That you can use on your team to get away.
It was Smite. No,
That's right.
everyone's your enemy.
This is
If it's
awesome.
an enemy, you're going to do damage.
Oh, I'm
when
so
you
happy.
arrive there.
Bro, I'm so happy.
It has a setup time, and which means she
What's
can't
the
be
cooldown?
interrupted while she's charging it.
Oh, she can be
You have a
interrupted?
little
That's
bit of fast
scary.
Audio, if you can figure out she's going, you can knock her out of it.
Dude, this
but
god
not
might be
consume
really-
the cooldown or
This
her
guy
mana.
might actually have a high skill cap, dude.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
What
exciting.
happens if I leap into
Another
a tower
circuit.
while she's warming it up?
There's a
Yeah.
lot of counterplay with this ability.
Is there
So if you are currently still in the air and don't have an actual position on the ground, she'll go to where you were. So you can just dodge it like that. If you use like a dash, especially like a quick Agni dash, you can turn and dash into
I
your
have
own
to see the
tower,
numbers,
and she
dude.
will teleport
If
to
she doesn't
you
have
in the
high
tower,
scaling,
in
she's
bad
gonna be bad.
shape.
Guaranteed.
It
You can
looks like
even
it applies
do-
the dot as well, right? It applies a passive.
She's
on
all
level 1 to
damage
me?
so
Yeah,
far.
so all
She's
of
just
her
all
1, 2, and 3
damage.
apply the
Okay, I
passive
wasn't
torture
sure.
blades as well.
She has
This
no
is an
CC.
AoE ability too. Actually, hits all enemies in range.
Her
It's
mobility is
relatively low damage,
average.
long warm up,
It's nothing
a lot of
crazy. She's like an
counterplay.
all-in
Well,
god.
you can't do like Al Kwong, right, and just GTFO. There's got to be an ally in range that you can
Right.
target.
So
if
she
you use
can't.
it as an
She
escape.
can't
That's
just
right.
use it in the open
You
space.
can
to
go
just
to
juke
ho-
moves.
camps, though. You can go to
she needs a
creeps.
target. It's actually quite difficult to use optimally.
But it is kind of cool that you can.
Now you just pick
right,
whatever
right, if
target
an
you need to
ally
get.
is running away and he's got people trying to kill him. You can zoom in and hit him with the AoE, right? If
And
they're
you were
close
bringing up the
enough.
teleport, and if an enemy
This
gets
is
hit
a
by
true
they're not gonna have
assassin,
enough time
though.
to
Like,
finish
this
the teleport
is-
before she gets there.
This
But
is what they don't have many of in
ally
Smite.
using the teleport, and she got it at the last second.
I hope this god's good.
Position. when
This
they
is exciting.
landed, which is cool. Did we show multiple Odins getting hit when
Yeah,
she
can you
arrives?
go through walls?
That's pretty cool too.
I
Can
would
the
like
three
to
go
see
over
that.
walls?
You're
I
gonna
bet
do
you it
damage-
can.
You're always going to do damage to your target if it's an enemy, but
Right.
if there's a
If
group
they
of
can't
them,
go over walls,
close enough
then I
range to them,
instantly
you
don't
can also
like
hit all of them with
the ability.
perfectly to all
Oh,
of
it's
them.
AoE?
Especially really nice for when you've got allies and enemies mixing with each other, because you would hate to accidentally hit an ally and like do
So you
no
still
damage.
get
It's
the
base
AoE
number though. You guys see
all
the base number? The
time,
base
yeah.
is
So
193.
Just
Just jump on in.
So that's a max rank 3 on a level 1.
She's definitely definitely got this. Is a
That's like
risky
a
all-in
really
ability.
low
You have to be
base,
very
so that
careful. You can
scaling
use it
better
to
be high as
escape
fuck.
If she ends up in a bad spot, but this is a very pseudo movement ability that she can still find herself in very scary positions.
Well, yeah, because if you're in the jungle harrying some guy and then it's not working out, if you don't have an ally to teleport to, or you'd have to teleport to another enemy, which is just as bad. So,
figuring out the build on her is going to be fun.
That looks very torturous in terms of devices yet. Is that what the ultimate's about?
Can her two crit?
It better be.
The ultimate.
Because you promised me it, AJ.
I know. So
Can
the
her
ultimate
two
is a torture
crit?
device. It's called the Powlow. This was Daji's invention. It's a giant burning hot cylinder of metal.
Okay.
And historically, they would heat
What's
this
it
thing.
do?
They would heat this thing up.
What does it do?
We'll show you. One second.
Okay.
We'll heat this.
I'm gonna buy one.
You'll heat this thing up, and they would push or chain people to it and like burn them slowly until they died.
Oh.
Or make them balance on it until they fell off and
I
like
love
burned
that
in the
one.
coals.
Yeah,
Whichever was more entertaining to Daji.
Use
so what this
it.
does is it's got a short channel time before she goes up in the air untargetable, and then she gets to fire up to 3 shots.
Okay.
This is a bit of a raw mix with Ares. So what you have is you have up to 3
It's
shots.
Rama
Those shots
Ares!
deal damage and
In an
also chain
assassin!
enemies.
Oh
At the end
my
of the duration,
God.
when she leaps down, if you're chained, you get pulled into the Powlow and applied a dot. A short stun.
Oh, it's gonna be so fun.
Wait. So I'm gonna try and work out when to beads off this freaking thing when she's going down for the pull of like, where's she gonna fire a second shot? She's gonna fire a third shot?
Wait, you don't pull till you
there's
jump
an
off?
Interesting new feature on Daji, which works differently, which is if you beads the chains, it breaks the chains immediately.
Oh, you thought about that. I'm so proud of you
So you can
guys.
you're
that's
still
cool.
benefit to beads late because you can confuse Daji and maybe she'll try to shoot you more or something like that. But you can beads early, just break the chains, you're free to go. She cannot
This is
rechain you with the
crazy.
same firing of that ability. Not till next time she uses
Crazy.
it. So you can beads or use an ultimate CC.
The range is
whatever,
kind of small
to
though.
break
It
the
looks
chains at
like
any time.
I
So you don't need to wait to the very end.
the
of
range
Ares. You
seems
can
kind of
just,
small, so
you know,
this is gonna be
just
interesting.
CC immune at any time.
But if that ult is instant,
Morgan.
it can get you
Springs
out,
to
and you
mind
can't be
with this
targeted in the
We've
air.
been testing Morgan.
For some reason,
Daji,
putting Morgan with her together sounds like fantastic
So
combination.
the Daji's deployables fires here have a pretty good delay to them. They're pretty difficult to hit. I compare them to like a Chronos circle. So if you have a fast character, you can juke them. It takes a lot of practice from the Daji player.
But you can jump down early is the key as well. You can actually
No,
dismount
players
early.
go.
No, you have to fire all 3.
No, you don't have to fire all 3. You have to
Oh.
wait the entire duration.
Oh,
The
so you
duration is
can't
actually
jump off
rather quick.
early.
If you
Okay.
dilly-dally too much, it's easy to only have time to shoot 2
Gotcha.
shots or so.
Interesting.
So if I fire my 3 shots very quickly, does that auto
wait.
end it?
You wait.
You still have to wait.
You wait.
Okay, so it's a timing thing.
It's very
fantasy.
scripted.
Okay.
We want to go through one stage at a time to make sure the feedback is really clear here. And even for the players who test this on PTS, I want to make it known that we're still adjusting some of the fine tunings, audio and visuals for the specific steps here to make sure it reads clearly, because this is a complicated ability and a lot of things were still kind of coming together. But
The radius is huge. They showed it early. Okay.
By the way.
It's the Powlow.
I'm trying to think of what you would build on this god.
The actual game looks really fantastic too. Does that body block or anything?
It
do
does.
you take damage for walking near?
Because, dude,
like that?
You don't take any
If
damage
she
from
has
walking
really
near,
high
it's purely
scaling,
a
that
blocking
shifter
ball.
shield
Cool. So
with
is
a little
it
bit of
like a
defense
physical
is going to
form
be
in the game,
sick.
like a Ymir wall, but it's not going to do any damage, just like a Ymir wall. It's the
or
same sort of
like
thing.
an on her pillar.
That's a better way of doing it without the slow. Yeah.
I can't wait
So
for
okay,
PTS, man. It better
we
be
know
up
she's going
tonight.
to be a jungler. Like that's kind of a design. That's generally what Assassins is. Has she got any other roles, or is she got a certain point of the game where she's going to really shine? Would you say?
Definitely jungler.
Jungle murder.
Yeah. I think she is really a mid-game god.
Okay.
She's very all-in, so she has trouble late game because she'll get burned down really quickly.
Sure.
Yeah, she
and early
is. That's
game,
what
she
I'm worried
really, once
about.
she gets her 2 to max rank, and maybe once her 2 and her 1 to max rank, when she's got the maximum amount of kind of burst damage, that is when she's going to peak.
In a way, she kind of reminds me of Thanatos in that you're just kind of, you got to commit and get the kill.
Yep.
And then if somebody else comes, you better kill them too, because you're not getting away.
Yeah, except she can't heal herself in any way.
It's
so.
like Circuit without the
That's
escape.
true.
It feels more like an all-in Circuit that can't get back out necessarily.
Except without 2
Unless you
of the
kill
best.
them.
It's like Circuit, but without having 2 of the best movement abilities in the game.
Yes, but I mean with the all-in potential of Circuit, when she all-in, she also uses a full combo and then disengage maybe with ambush. This is the same sort of thing, but you're committing fully.
Circuit has a lot more burst damage and instant lockdown.
Okay.
Daji, and this is kind of reinforcing the torture mechanics, which is things come out a little slower. There's a lot of dot
2 to 3
components to the
seconds after
damage,
she hits.
and even her abilities all have very multi-stage. So you're going
Sure.
through this roller coaster of emotion on if Daji is going to be able
That makes
to
sense.
capitalize on these abilities or not, and a lot of questioning as opposed to just getting
Instant
1, 2,
burst,
3
you're
dead.
But I
So
mean,
So the 3 as well, determining how you place. Does that make a difference with this or what?
Sure. So she's always going to be in the direction she was facing when she makes the movement. So if you fire and then turn around, you'll wind up on the other side of the enemy.
And if Pawn can show this in slow motion,
it's really cool.
If Pawn can show this in slow motion, there's also kind of a duplicates trail.
Yes.
Oh yeah, to show you the direction.
There's an effects trail from her destination.
You can't really see it when you're doing it, but to slow it down super slow.
He's got
this way he breaks the game now.
Do a 180. No, you got to back up.
Pawn's
no, he's
not
too
having
close.
a good day.
It's too close.
Pawn.
Yeah. You're too close, man. You got to back it up.
I got the idea of it though. I could kind
So what it does is it draws a line from her teleport to her destination. So you can see, even if you don't know if she went over a wall or you don't know it because she was swerving around a lot during the setup time, you can see the line tell you where she went.
That's kind of cool. I like that effect that you've added there, just to make sure it's nice and clear for where did she go to? Oh, she's over there.
It's the slow-mo, it doesn't appear to be
It's been tricky to show, but it'd
Oh,
probably be better.
yeah, slow-mo effects
yeah, they don't always
spawn over distance.
I know.
Jeez.
One day we'll do a patch notes where we can get
But
everything
anyway,
right.
if
Yeah.
another
You'll see it,
person
you'll
is
see it.
watching you do it, you'll
doesn't
see a
clearly see
line
it.
of
That's where she
dodgy
traveled.
images go
That's awesome.
to the target.
Now, she
So-
does obviously come with a voice pack as well. We'll just see if we can hear it. I can
It's a
hear
bass
normal
voice pack,
bass
so it
voice.
should work.
So it should work. We'll find out. Pom Pom.
There it is.
That is
Yes, you may live. Merciless. Bow down before me. Bow down before me. I learned long ago that compassion gets you nowhere. I'd like to slice you open and see what makes you tick. I'm sure you'd love to spend a night with me, but I doubt you'd survive it. I adore ballroom dancing, especially if we do the foxtrot.
There's a joke.
Want to know how to torture a male god? Ignore him. What do you give the girl who has everything? You give her more.
Yeah.
Sounds like my
You
wife.
got a lot
Attack!
That might get you in trouble.
I will. Don't worry.
she doesn't watch the stream.
Wait, don't you understand? Is like I'll banter all day with you guys, but at home I'm definitely whipped. So,
She's got a good, interesting personality. You know, it's a little combination of kind of
that's
royal and
really
elegant,
cool voice
but
pack.
still just psychotic and evil and
All
selfish.
right, guys. I need PTS live now, like right now.
Completely rude.
I'm not sleeping. I don't care about the thing. I'm trying to think of builds.
And I know everybody's.
I was
going,
messaging
"This is
people. I'm trying to think of
strong," but
builds,
This is gonna
man.
be the Loki type thing where you commit, you kill somebody, and then you get.
I
you
feel
get memed on Twitter
Click-clacked.
and Reddit as like I
we'll
could be
see.
Loki.
Oh, I don't even
every
know
new
what
god
you're
is
gonna
OP
build on
always,
this
right?
bit.
That's what they always say. So we'll see. This one is going to be interesting. I think it's going to vary a lot based on skill level.
Right, but what I'm saying is that I feel like skill isn't going to determine. You're going to be able to kill people. Are you going to be able to kill people and not die immediately
Well,
afterwards?
and the difference between like doing 99% of someone's health and 100% is a huge difference for her
Yep.
because it's probably not only the difference between a kill or not, but also living
Whether
or
you
not.
live.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Good point.
Well, gentlemen, this has been fantastic. I'm really excited to see
I'm
how
excited, dude.
Daji plays out.
Oh, man.
The Smite as
Yo.
well. What's your favorite thing
Oh,
gonna
I
change?
don't know.
Other than obviously the god that's about to come out. Chuck, what's your favorite thing?
Hydras
this
could
patch?
be good. Shifter shit could be good. Heartseeker could
Oh,
be
yeah, skin as
good.
well, I
Oh,
forgot
yeah,
about that. Do you
yeah,
want to see the skin? Maybe
Um,
we'll choose this, actually.
Jotun
Maybe we'll
could
choose
be
this.
good. Pure Pen and Power
The
could
Daji
be
turned out
good.
Really great.
I think
like,
the
If
Daji
Kin's
card-
procs on each of the
the
2
Daji card art
swipes,
is some of the
Sure.
most
that could be
amazing
good.
stuff.
Like, I don't know.
The default card art for her.
I gotta play the
is
god.
crazy good.
I'm just doing.
I'm gonna have to go in the jungle practice with the new god before I
Russell.
play it.
You're not
Well, we
wrong.
wanted her to be a little bit more Chun-Li and a little less, super skinny all the way around.
Okay. I was wondering, when you said Chun-Li, I was like, where's he going to go with this next one then? He was going to reference and you went, skinny. Skinny. You could think of another person to think of it.
Yeah.
Not Chun-Li, but not a skinny person. So for you, what about you, Fish? What's your favorite thing in the patch?
Man, I really want to see how these XP changes play out. We did a lot of testing, and we've heard a lot of feedback. So we hope that improves the meta. And obviously, if it doesn't, we'll keep working on it.
AJ?
And that said, PTS. When it goes up, we'll let you know. But
Play
just
it, tell us.
get in there, play it. We should have a spectator working. So pros, if you want to scrim, you want to record your matches, you want to send us videos of show us things you think are working well or not.
Look at this OP! Look at this underpower! Yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Let's see it instead of just speculating wildly. Let's take a look at it. But my favorite is really. It's Daji.
Of course it is.
I think the skins were
Yours
great.
is safe when yours like, I
but,
just want to pick the new god.
the animation
goddess.
team and the art team worked really hard to get all the tails and everything working well, and this complicated cinematic, multi-staged alternate, and the programmers, everybody worked really hard on the god, and she turned out great.
Awesome.
She did.
So generally, what we're looking for here is.
I don't know what the new god's gonna be, dude. I don't know if it's gonna be AA. I don't know if it's gonna be ability.
The Tuesday and
I don't know until I play it.
Out when it's out sometime later this week.
Hopefully.
No, not today.
Maybe tomorrow.
Tonight. Please be tonight, Ajax. Please tonight. We are streaming some fucking Smite tonight on PTS. 100%.
No, it means we're working on them already.
Okay. Okay.
And as soon as those get fixed, or we'll just get a lot of bug reports for them, even though we're already fixing them.
Known issues mean bugs we haven't fixed yet.
Oh, thank you.
That you don't need to report because we're already working on them.
So now you can just respond with known issues. Like we're working on these bugs all the time. All the time, just respond with known issues. Been a pleasure as always, guys. That's all we got time for on the Patch Note Show. Daji will be hitting a system on your side very, very soon as well. We'll see you again in 2 weeks' time.
All right, guys. That is gonna be it for the Patch Notes.